Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Way Back Wednesday. I am Lance Falitongo,
I'm Sefa M.
and this is a nostalgic podcast conversation about Dragon Ball.
Yeah, let's go. I just want to start this off by saying I appreciate you, Lance. Lance is the definition of a team player. You know what I'm saying? We had a devastating loss in the anime community, and I asked Lance, I said, man, what's up, bro? How much Dragon Ball Z knowledge do you have? And he said, not an ounce. And we still here. You know what I'm saying? We still here, and he made it happen. You know what I'm saying? So first off, I gotta tip my hat to Lance, man, for being the ultimate team player. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Knowing how big a Dragon Ball Z fan you are, or a Dragon Ball fan you are, I knew. Yeah, we definitely had to get some big hitters. We might have brother Forrest, who is also a big anime fan, in here later. We have my good friend Mikey Hodges, one of the biggest anime fans I know. I know this is gonna make me feel like a huge imposter in this meeting room right now, but very excited um, to talk anime with you guys, specifically Dragon Ball Z, GT, whatever it is, Super.
We not talking about GT right now.
Yo, and to really hear it from two of the biggest fans I know. I know there's going to be interesting conversation, not just for me, but for anyone listening. But yeah, just to start, what happened? We had the creator of Dragon Ball pass away last week.
Yeah.
And what is this? I mean, I've seen the reaction online, not only online, but in different countries, declaring like holidays or like days of recognition for him, and kind of realizing now like the scope and just how wide Akira Toriyama and Dragon Ball really reached. Sefa, for you, what is Dragon Ball and why is it important to you?
Man, I feel like every man my age, around my age group, like that just encompasses our childhood so well. I think like growing up, if you 30 something, I think growing up like Power Rangers and all that, like that was when we were super young. And then, like Mikey said before we started recording, Toonami hit and Dragon Ball Z was like Power Rangers was cool, but you grew up and you kind of realized it was a little kiddish. And I think Dragon Ball Z, at least for me, was like the first time that a cartoon, it was like going from toys to action figures, And like it felt like that. It felt like more official, it felt more adult, it felt serious, like the stakes were higher. And I think that was just that transition from going from a little boy to a young man. That's what it felt like, at least for me. But yeah, it was just that era, that childhood, just that stage of life, just coming into your own, getting comfortable in your own skin and whatnot. But yeah, that's for me. But how about you, Mikey? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 41, and I just remember watching like Thundercats and Mask and cartoons like that, and then to go from that to Dragon Ball, and you're just like, hold up, they die? Like people die? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you actually, your character gets stomped out, He-Man would get stomped out, but they would come back.
Yeah.
Thunder, Lion-O would come back, everybody would come back. But when your characters are dying, it was just a completely different thing. And like you said, like it really became like boy to man stuff. And so when Toonami was coming on, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yep. That's
nothing
true.
At all.
Wait, people are dying?
Bro, Goku died like 24 times in the series,
so
bro.
He's died so much.
So much.
That's definitely different from like the regular cartoons or like Disney animations. You think most younger kids are watching.
And Disney people die all the time. Disney Pixar, they be dying.
Yeah.
Bruh, they just not the main character. Tarzan's parents was dead behind the door in blood.
They killed Bambi's parents over sequence.
They gonna kill a parent to make the kid grow up and be a superstar. They'll do that.
Yeah.
Mufasa.
Oh yeah,
Oh damn, yeah, okay, yeah. Damn. He's full of death too.
yeah.
Yo, but that's interesting to think like, yo, yeah, your animations or your cartoons or anime is dealing with like characters that aren't gonna come back or aren't supposed to, or maybe that's part of a different part of the storyline. A couple of stats on Dragon Ball. Started in 1984, again by Akira Toriyama, who passed away March 1st of this year. Still working on Dragon Ball stuff, right? Like, is there more Dragon Ball media coming out, like a new movie or a new show?
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to keep going. Dragon Ball Super. Like,
Okay,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I thought it was not done.
so he
Yeah,
was. Go
they
ahead.
announced that it was supposed to be like when he came back for Super, they said it was going to be like at least 5 seasons and another 7 movies.
Hmm.
Because I have all the Dragon Ball Z, GT DVDs and stuff. And when they first announced it, that was what they announced. So it was supposed to be just a ton of content. And then I legit haven't watched it all because I just been saving it because I knew that it was only going to be so much content. Like I haven't seen the Piccolo movie and I haven't seen the Broly movie, the newer ones, but I've seen the older ones. So I've been saving those for just nostalgia purposes to watch whenever I want to watch them. But the fact that he was just really getting in his bag again, and then now he's gone is sad.
So
Yeah,
this was definitely like a big surprise seeing him pass away. It wasn't like he was like super old and
Now he was in his
sick or
60s.
anything.
68.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's when. Oh, that sucks.
The more I'm living out here, right, and I'm meeting like older people, bro. I met an 81-year-old dude that was surfing, and
Surfing?
like before, I would think 60. I'm like 60. That's a good life, and like now, I'm like, damn, 60. That's young. 68. That's young, bro. I
Yeah,
know
when you look at
seven. Like, yeah,
like Prince and Michael Jackson, like they died way too young. They both
yeah,
in their 50s, early 60s. Like what? So yeah,
yeah,
it's a 60s not old very at all. You know.
yeah,
Man.
yeah. That was crazy.
What he did create, like what is going to be his lasting legacy, as far as Toriyama, is Dragon Ball, the franchise, and all the shows, movies, characters that kind of spawn from there. Uh, Released as a manga. Am I saying that right?
Manga.
Manga. What's like for people that don't know, what's the difference between manga and anime? Like when people are like looking at those names.
Manga is the comic,
Mhm.
like the comic book, and anime is the cartoon of it.
Got it. So he wrote the comic for Dragon Ball before it turned into an anime.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then was like still part of like the creative process all through it.
Yes.
Dang,
Yeah,
okay.
he wrote the story basically, and then they adapted the story into the cartoon, to the anime.
From 1984 to 1995, 42 different volumes, 519 different chapters. Um, yeah, and it's spawned into the anime, and I feel like taking over the world. Uh, do you guys have like favorite storylines or characters or story arcs that are important to people understanding what Dragon Ball is?
I think I feel like I'm torn because I think everything ramped up during the Cell Saga.
Yeah.
Uh, but Frieza to me was like the perfect villain.
Yeah.
Like there was so much history. Like Frieza wiped out Goku's people. He killed his dad. Like
Yeah.
it was Frieza was the perfect, and that's the reason why they kept bringing him back. So I think
Yeah.
Frieza as a character, and that was like the perfect villain. Um, I think I feel like they used him too early. Like I feel like that would
Yeah.
have been perfect towards the end part, but
Yeah.
Frieza the character the villain was but the Cell Saga was I think the Cell Saga meant a lot because it was the first time Goku wasn't just like everybody wasn't just waiting around for Goku. Like
Yeah.
every other instance they just bide in time until Goku come back from being dead. And then the Cell Saga Gohan really stepped up, and he, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. I'll go with Frieza. I go with the Frieza arc.
Mikey, what would you
Yeah,
say like the biggest the arc for you in Dragon Ball is?
I'm gonna get this off my chest. Them waiting on Goku
Yeah.
was getting real old on that show.
Yep.
They were just waiting and waiting,
That's
and
it.
then you just is he going to get there? Every episode, is he going to get there? He's flying through space. He'll get there. He's going to, and it's just like, oh man, if you don't just hurry up and get your ass there, your son is about to die, your homie's getting choked out. Like, get there.
Yeah, for real.
Then you get there, and they got all these other people that are stronger than you. You're just like, what is happening? You know? And so I gotta say that, yeah, when they went to Piccolo's planet,
Mm-hmm.
it went down. And
Yeah.
and when they destroyed Krillin, if there's no destroying of Krillin, there is no Super Saiyan.
That's
It's just
true.
there isn't one. And so there had to be Frieza, there had to be Frieza's henchmen, they had to be running around here running the universe for this to happen. They brought them monkeys, they brought the monkey out of them. You know what I'm saying? They brought the great apes out of them. So
yeah, Frieza was
they
racist as hell too. Let's get
hella
that.
racist. Calling them monkeys and all kinds of get out. Just no. He had to catch it. He had to catch the fade.
The one thing that I will admit though, because like what you said, right? Like the fights and whatnot, it was kind of, you know, it was kind of repetitive. You know, it's just like who screams louder, who gets stronger. Yeah. But in on Namek when he fought Captain Ginyu, right? That was that was like one of the fights to me that sticks out because it wasn't just about who's stronger. Like he got outwitted, he got his body stolen. Like they transferred souls, and Goku was in the bad guy, and the bad guy was in Goku, and like it was a cool little dynamic, like a switch up. It was a cool little dynamic to the fight that like really it still stands out to me. Like out of all of the series, that fight and the fight with Hitman. I don't know if you've seen Dragon Ball Super, but the fight with Hit, like they were just different. It broke out of the norm of the fights that usually happen, and so for the Frieza arc to have that little piece, I think that was pretty cool.
That was the best thing about the Frieza arc to me, is that they showed you that all the villains had different styles. Yeah. It's kind of like rapping back in the day. Everybody had a different style, but everybody was great. Yeah. You know, nobody was copying nobody else's style. And so the Ginyu Force was wild. And then you basically got to see the hierarchy within Frieza's squad. And Frieza outranked all of them, but you got to see that these are the people you got working for you, G. They all kind of killers. Yeah. And the Z fighters didn't have nothing for it. You know, they on the planet with Bulma. Like, why is Bulma there? But she's the smartest human. So I feel like her superpower was her super brain. But this is wild.
That's a wild statement, by the way. Just out of no context, her superpower was super brain. That's Mikey wilding right now, bro. Mikey, you gotta add some context to that. She's a genius. She's a Brainiac. I don't know how to. Everything sounds bad, but yeah.
Went to college.
Shout out to Bulma.
Good brain, Bulma. Sefa, for those that don't know, could you explain the premise of Dragon Ball in 30 seconds?
Probably not 30. I talk a lot. So on this Earth, this version of Earth, there's Dragon Balls. There's 7 of them, and you can gather them. And you can make a wish. And so it starts out with Bulma and Goku. Like Bulma runs into Goku because he has a Dragon Ball. She's trying to make a wish, and so the first Dragon Ball series kind of follows a kid Goku with Bulma going around the world hunting down Dragon Balls. And then it goes to Dragon Ball Z, where it turns into more like Goku's history, like who he is as a person, because he has a tail. He's super strong as a kid, like 5, I don't know how old he is, but super strong. And then it comes to find out he's an alien. The Dragon Ball Z kind of opens up to like this different worlds type universe. And then they're fighting aliens and all these other things. And then I ain't gonna lie, bro. I watched Dragon Ball GT like for the first 10 episodes, and then I didn't watch it no more, just because it was like a lot. It was it was like a lot. It was a lot to watch, and then Baby Vegeta and all these things, and I didn't really care for it. So I don't know anything about GT, but I know Dragon Ball Super comes in, and so if Dragon Ball Z opened it up to the universe, then Dragon Ball Super opened it up to the multiverse. So like
Gotcha.
every series, like every different series, kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Nice.
And Goku is at the center of all of it, just the strongest being. And he finds out in the next arc that he's actually not the strongest, and then he wants to be the strongest. So yeah.
Very well done. Mikey, Kid Goku, can you explain who this person is and like exactly what makes him tick and like why he's the protagonist of Dragon Ball? Like what makes him worthy of being the guy that is in the middle of all of this?
Okay, so when he's first sent to Earth, he's sent by basically Frieza's family, King Cold and his brother Cooler and Frieza. They run in the universe, so they send out Saiyans as babies to take over planets. When the moon comes out, they turn into these grape apes and they get all big and they destroy the planets for them so they can broker those planets and sell them throughout the universe, right? That's their whole job as being Saiyans, right? That's why Frieza conquered their planet and started making them go out and get me more planets for me, right? So Goku shows up as a baby, and his adopted grandfather Gohan finds him. He had a head injury. He bunked his head, and so that was the reason why he didn't go ape on everybody. He was just he was nice because he was raised by his grandpa, and then he went and trained with Master Roshi, turtle style, and then he just kept going from there. And the reason why he was so strong and so powerful is because he's an alien, but nobody knew it. He had the tail, but it was just like there's a bunch of animals that talk on that universe. So it's just not that weird. But anywhere else it would have been weird. So yeah, he just and that's what happened. He just got a really good heart, and you can tell that that's a person. He's a leader. He goes into the fight head first, literally, and he creates the Z fighters, and everybody just joins up with him, and they just fight off all the evil.
Nice. This who has a tail the whole time and everyone's just cool with it.
This,
it's
like
yeah, it's yeah, but like that's planet Earth, but like in that version of Earth, there's like fishmen walking around. Like it's not, it's not like Earth. It's like different animals and different alien type looking people.
And so when he's there with his grandpa Gohan, he's just getting trained in the woods, not being in the city, doesn't know anybody. So when he runs across Bulma, that's when it's like, oh, let's start this adventure. And then they go
it's
out.
kind of wild when he runs across Bulma because like he didn't know all he knew was dudes. So he knew that all dudes had penises. And so she's laying down there
She was sleeping
in her underwear. And he's poking it like, what? That ain't balls. That ain't dick. What's this?
He lifts up her pant, like he lifts up her skirt to see like where's yours at, and
he's like, oh, that's the first girl he ever met.
Yeah.
And she like forgave him soon after.
I think she slapped the hell. She slapped Goku a lot.
Yeah, she slapped Goku and Master Roshi a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I feel even more interested in learning Goku's story and how he goes from this like not known alien on Earth fighting, and then into like the middle of a multiverse kind of battle between a bunch of other alien planets and entire organisms.
It's because Goku dies a lot, and when he dies, he goes and sees all the people who are running the show, and then they realize that the guy that are running the show, that this guy is like a divine person. And he just wants to continue training to save the people that are back on the planet. Is the reason why he keeps getting to go another level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn. Okay. So, like, not everybody can train. Like, even if they train their hardest, would get the powers of, like, these extra levels of Super Saiyan. He's, like, worthy of it because he wants to do good with his power.
Yeah.
So Saiyans, they have this thing about Saiyans, and they say, Like if a Saiyan gets beaten to an inch of their life, once they come back, they become stronger. I know that's like if you break that down, that's like everybody, like of course, but it's especially true for Saiyans. And I think the biggest proof of that is Goku and Krillin was training side by side their whole life, and Krillin hit his ceiling a long time ago,
Man, when they
and
was
he's
children.
yeah, you know, and so yeah, Goku is just being a Saiyan. I guess it's just in their DNA. It's a different type of DNA for them. So he just
and,
keeps going there.
and the Saiyans all come from a specific planet that is no longer there. Like they all got spread out because their planet got destroyed.
Because Frieza killed him.
Okay, so now they're spread out all over the place. But are they all
No,
family?
there's not like there's no Saiyan. There's like 4 Saiyans. Like
Oh,
it's
damn! Everybody dies.
everybody Frieza.
Yeah, so
it,
it's Planet Vegeta.
yeah.
Planet Vegeta. And then they had Prince Vegeta, and then they had Nappa. They had Raditz, which is Goku's brother,
Yeah.
and Goku. So it was just them 4 when the planet got blown up because they were off world, taking over other planets for Frieza.
So Goku used to be bad when he was a baby, or he used to be an agent.
He was going to be. Yeah.
Oh, like in training.
Okay. Yeah, and the reason why Frieza even killed him, it was like on some Harry Potter type stuff. Like the reason why he killed the whole planet Vegeta is because there was like a thing that said there's gonna be a Super Saiyan like that's gonna kill you, and he got scared. He got
Like a
spooked.
prophecy.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
rest in peace, Bardock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That Bardock was Goku's daddy. And Goku's daddy knew that that Frieza was coming to kill him. And he was still trying to set it off out there, but not enough.
Frieza killed him with one finger.
One finger, bro.
Like
it's a disrespect.
What are the different power levels like? I mean, I know we all know the meme, like over 9,000.
Over 9,000.
Yeah, but like, what does that mean? Like, how strong was Frieza? Like, how strong was Goku at different forms? Like, what do you guys know about like power levels and what creature in the universe is, I guess, the strongest?
So this is Googleable, but the scouters were invented by Frieza's team to notice who was strong and how they were strong, right? Mm-hmm. And so when they were going around checking people, they would hit their scouter and see how strong they were. And so Raditz, being Goku's brother, when he first pulled up, he checks him and checks the planet to see if there's any strong fighters out there, right? So over 9,000 was where they were at on that planet whenever they checked it and they was freaking out about it. But when you look at the Frieza saga, when they get to that planet, Frieza is at 1 million. Captain Ginyu is at, I think, like 200,000. So that's the difference between Captain Ginyu and Frieza.
And so, Frieza was like a small villain compared to everybody like that comes after. So it goes with a lot more than 1 million, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask where the power comes from?
From within.
Like from training. I was
going to answer that. That's exactly it.
Exactly, from within.
From training. I ain't gonna lie, they had a couple episodes. Like I remember the episode when Gohan was training Goten, and like he kind of tried to explain, or he was training Videl. I forgot who he was training, but trying to explain like how to shoot the power beams and how to fly. And, you know, as a kid, when you watching this, you know, you start taking notes of what they're supposed to do. And you're like, okay, so you center yourself, you close your eyes, you hum, and then you really try to get into it. You know what I'm saying? I used to be in the backyard screaming, you know what I'm saying, doing my command mans and whatnot. It never worked, unfortunately. But if it did, I definitely wouldn't be doing a podcast. I'd be running, shooting people in the air, you know what I'm saying? But
have that power.
Yeah. It never worked.
Who would you guys say is the strongest person or creature in the Dragon Ball universe?
That little dude. I don't know his name. The little blue dude that Goku be. He's the one that did the tournament of power.
Okay. Yeah, the little emperor of the universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That that fool
he's the
could
powerful one.
he could just destroy. He could just say. He could just think it. Like he could just think something and it's done. Like it's kind
But
of yeah.
it's like he's God, and all like Whis and all those guys are the angels,
Mhm.
and then everybody else is they just work under them. So it's like you really can't beat God, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So that's that.
How about coolest? Like who do you think has the coolest power? Who'd you say, Mikey?
Ooh, I like Hit a lot.
It is nice, yeah.
I like Jiren. Like I like his story. He just took some pain and just turned it into just power. I like Broly.
Yeah. Bro,
'Cause
Broly is
he did some,
actually I think he's actually the legendary Super Saiyan that was supposed to kill Frieza.
yeah, he's just a legend, you know.
But Goku just outworked him.
It's definitely not Yamcha. I tell you that.
Yo, y'all, I was just, you know, it's funny you say that. You know, it's so funny. When it happened, when the news broke, I told my girl, I said, man, what's up? Let's watch some Dragon Ball Z. She's like, what? I was like, man, the creator died. I'm trying to watch it. Come watch it with me. So she was like, okay. So we watched it, and it was the episode. I started off with the episode where Trunks comes into the picture because
Yeah.
I think Trunks that's one of my favorite characters. Future
Yeah, for
Trunks.
real. Yeah,
And
Future Trunks.
it was when he came in and like Vegeta just came back from looking for Goku in space, and like then Yamcha was like, "What is he doing here? He better get out." And I'm sitting here like, "Bro, you the last person." And he's sitting there like telling Bulma like, why are you talking about Vegeta? Why are you?" And then when Frieza and them pull up, this fool Yamcha's like, "You guys don't think we really gonna fight them? We should be running." I'm just like, man, this dude is a punk, bro. Like this dude
Trash.
the worst hero on earth, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The worst. Like I even like PN more than him. That tri-beam cannon was going off. When he was saving them from Cell and he was hitting them with the tri-beam. I was
Bro,
yeah,
Tiana mess around and blind you. He blind you with the solar flare, you know what I'm saying?
Solar flare.
Yeah.
Is there like a strongest move that was shown on the show? I mean, besides the god snapping his fingers.
Oh man, when the Super came out, it was game changing because there was an episode in the Tournament of Power where old girl had him in dead to rights in this shot, and Goku was sliding down her shot.
Yeah, with the command. Yeah, that was
just
hard.
to pull up on her face, and he got like an inch away from her face and blew her face off with this power, with this shot. And you're just like, they didn't do that in any of the other ones. You didn't see that in Dragon Ball. You didn't see that in Dragon Ball Z. You didn't see that in GT. You didn't see that in none of the movies. You're just like, hold up. But that's the reason why he came back. He was like the technology that caught up to his idea of writing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think in general though, I think everybody is aware that when Goku about to hit you with the spirit bomb, it ain't no coming back from that. You know, it's this move where he basically gathers all this energy and he asks all the other people to, hey, buy me some time and fight the guy so I can sit here and gather energy from the whole earth. And he just, it's like, give me your energy. And that's like the main, you know what I'm saying? That's the main hit. But
how long does it take to charge?
Forever.
7 episodes.
Forever.
Seriously?
About 7 episodes. The longer than it took him to hit Super Saiyan 3. You remember
For
that?
real. For real. Way longer than it took for like so that was the thing that make you mad. You'd be like, okay, how did he go from 2 to 3 without even showing us it? But it take him 19 episodes to get a spirit bomb off.
Bro, he sat there and charged up for Super Saiyan 3 for about 6 episodes. He was just screaming. I was like, damn, man, Goku got some lungs of gold, like lungs of steel or something. Like,
he's a smoker.
Yeah.
when he had that rocket hair, though, I was like, okay, how does he fight with all this hair? Legit.
He lost his eyebrows too. You see that?
Oh my god!
Super
his
Saiyan
forehead
3,
got long.
Muscle eyebrows.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird, but it was cool. You brought up the movies, Mikey. Do you have any favorite movies?
Oh, it ain't the Return of Cooler, I tell you that. I liked there was an Android movie that came out. I think he was like Android 12 or 13 or something like that. He was one of the other androids, and he had this country accent, and he was wearing a ball cap. I forget the actor. That one was one of my favorites. The Tree of Might is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like Garlic Jr. Like the earlier ones are my favorites. The ones they used to put on Toonami.
They had those special Friday
Saturdays.
Those special Friday, Saturday night movies. Oh yeah.
Oh so, yeah. Those were legit. I like those a lot. There's like when they came out with Kai, they cheated because I had all the DVDs. I still have all the DVDs. I have all the movies. But when they were able to abridge it and make it just faster, because I'm sitting there watching it, trying to get other people to watch it with me. They're like, "This is what you like?" I'm like, "Yeah, I really like this. I really do." And they're like, "Why is it taking so long?" I'm like, "That's how long it took back in the day." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm old. Let me just enjoy how old I am, because I legit was like waiting on this every week. Like when they started playing that guitar music next week on Dragon Ball Z, I was all in. They had me, but like they didn't get that from watching it with me. You know, they didn't get that announcer telling everybody that it's about to be epic next week, so stay tuned. So yeah, it's a different thing.
Me personally, my favorite, and I had the VHS and I watched it all the time, was I don't know if it was the Legacy of Trunks or the one with Future Trunks, where it shows where he came from. Like that movie was like Gohan, and so in this parallel future, the androids done killed everybody.
Everything.
Goku dies from Goku dies from a heart disease,
mystery illness.
Yeah, and like that's the only thing that could kill Goku. So he dies off, and everybody else is weak as hell. So they all get killed except for Gohan and Trunks. And Gohan, like in one fight, this fool gets his arm cut off, so he got one arm. So he fight with one. Man, that mug was so future Gohan would put current Gohan in the dirt, like the regular.
Did he have like
Gohan,
one eye too?
I don't know if he had one. He might have, but I know he had one arm. And I'm like, bro, the current Gohan all in school trying to do Saiyaman. Like, man, get the hell up out of here. So that movie with Trunks showing like where he comes from before he traveled to the past, I love that movie, and I love Lord Slug.
No, Lord Slug is a good one.
Lord Slug was hard because it was another they deviated from the plot, just like people fighting and being a stronger person. Like for them to like, oh, earlier Piccolo couldn't handle the high tones of whistling. And then Piccolo was like, yo, you got to whistle to get this guy. And Piccolo rips his own ears off so he doesn't hear the whistle. Oh, man, I just thought that was so. I was like, yo, this dude's a genius. This is great.
Shout out to Piccolo, man. Piccolo, best stepdad of all time.
Piccolo black. Piccolo is black.
He's definitely black.
Piccolo is black. Yeah, he's favorite.
Definitely like Panthro from like Thundercats. He's like the unspoken black character.
Did you guys see the live action Dragon Ball movie? And what did you think? Or how would you fix it?
You talking
about Evolution?
Whichever the one with the live action.
You being real blasphemous right now, bro.
I want to get your guys' takes on it. Was there anything wrong with that movie? Or
So I have it. Yeah, it's like I have everything Dragon Ball. I had to get it. It's trash. It's big trash. It's just is all like I like the live action Asian one better than I like Evolution. And that one, if you look that one up, that one's hilarious because
I haven't seen that.
Oh god, it looks like they shot it in '86.
Okay.
It just looks like it, and it looks like if you've seen any of those like Nigerian movies, any of those Indian movies where the special effects are just bottom of the barrel. It looks like that. But they got Master Roshi in his little turtle suit. They got all the stuff that you want them to have, but nah, no technology they didn't have it They wasn't ready for it yet. They didn't have green screen. Nah. But yeah, Evolution was big trash. First of all, Goku can't be white. Nope. What else? What else was bad about it?
Piccolo can't be white neither. They had Piccolo as a white dude. I was pissed.
Piccolo white. No. Bulma could be white, I guess, but they still try to like make her eyes slanted. I don't know. I didn't like that.
They got Chi-Chi right. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, Chi-Chi, they did get right. That was the best thing they ever did. Chi-Chi, that was a beautiful Chi-Chi.
That's all. She from Real World. I remember her.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah. But was it Yamcha? Oh God, they got this 57-year-old Asian man to play Yamcha. I'm like, hold up, man, hold up. They're all supposed to be the same age. It was wild.
It's terrible.
They need to redo it. Definitely have you guys.
Well, they announced they're gonna do a Naruto live action. And Naruto, I feel like it's like in the top 3 is like One Piece, Naruto, and Dragon Ball Z. These are like the 3.
Mikey, you the man, bro.
These are the 3.
You the man right there. You the man.
So if they do Naruto right, they're gonna have to. They're already doing One Piece as a live action series. Mm-hmm. They're gonna have to do either a live action series of Dragon Ball Z, or they're gonna have to do the movies over and start over from scratch. We'll have to see about it though.
Yeah, I like the One Piece live action. And I will admit, Dragon Ball Z will always be number 1 to me, just nostalgic reasons, just because every video game I had, like everything, I have so many memories with it. But I will say that I'm not mad at anyone who puts Naruto over it, because unlike Dragon Ball Z, in Naruto, every character played a vital role in every fight.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, I feel like everybody who watched Dragon Ball Z, 9 times out of 10, their favorite character is Goku, for obvious reasons, because he's in the middle of everything. He's at the pinnacle of every fight. And in Naruto, you can ask 100 people and you might get 100 different answers, because every character in that world means so much. Like, to me, my favorite character ain't even Naruto. That what's his name? Shikamaru. That's my favorite character.
Shikamaru's dope. My guy, my guy's way up there for me.
Yeah.
Kakashi Sensei. You know, you can even love Madara. Like Odibo. Like, there's so many characters on Naruto that are legit.
Yeah, and Dragon Ball Z, as much as I love it, as much as we all love it, they definitely were top heavy with Goku, which is fine. It worked, it worked for it. But when somebody would say Naruto's better, I'm like, bro, I'm not finna argue that. Like, I'm not finna. Yeah.
But on Dragon Ball, I feel like people's top 2 characters are Goku and then Majin Vegeta. They don't even go to Vegeta. They go Majin Vegeta, and then they go Vegeta, and then they go down their list on everybody that they mess with on the show. Because that Majin Vegeta was legit.
Bro, that scene where he was hugging Trunks and he knocks him out because he knows Trunks is going to follow him to the fight, and he knocks him out because he knows he's going to kill himself. And he's just like, you'll learn, you'll thank me later. I don't know what he said, but that scene right there, bro, like tears.
Real tears. They're cutting onions.
Yeah.
They're cutting.
And then he killed himself, and he didn't even kill the guy. He just sacrificed himself for nothing.
Because it was the ultimate. Because remember when Chaozu did it early on?
Yeah.
He jumped on the back of old boy on Nappa and was like, "Bye, Tien. I love you forever," and just boom, you just like, oh my God, bro, tears.
Yeah.
What would you guys say are like the most emotional or most important episodes in Dragon Ball? Like the whole Dragon Ball series, Dragon Ball Z. Which ones are the most memorable that got you the most?
Well, that one was one for sure.
When they Krill killing.
Yeah,
when they blow him up, you just like, bruh.
That was
that was big trash. When right when Gohan was supposed to take out Cell and he's playing with him, and then his dad blows up.
Yeah.
And you just like, man, if you wouldn't have been playing with him, your dad wouldn't have to die.
Yeah.
And then only just for him to come back, like kind of
help him.
spiritually to help him get that Kamehameha wave off. Man, you can't tell me that you wasn't like this sad because of that. You just like, if you just would have just did your job and quit bullshitting.
I hella forgot that happened. I hella forgot that happened. Gohan got all cocky because he hit Super Saiyan 2. He's the first person to hit Super Saiyan 2. And he was just toying. And oh man, I totally forgot that happened.
He had all that lightning. He was good, bro. But he was like, man, stop being. But he was a kid, so you can't really knock him. This kid has legit been fighting since he just came out the womb. He came out of Kichi, then they just left him go out in the wilderness. He out there running from the saber-toothed tigers and all kinds of dinosaurs. Cutting their pieces of their tail off so he can eat a little piece every night. Like some wild shit was happening.
They just let him go live in the wild.
I mean, Piccolo was looking after him low key. You know, Goku had died, and he was off training in other world, and so he didn't really have a father around besides Piccolo being stepdaddy. And so Piccolo just, you know, he watched him from the tower, him and Kami. So he was just like, you know, he's fine. He'll be all right. He's a Saiyan.
He's a Saiyan. Cool.
He's a Saiyan.
Oh, that too. Super Saiyan. Going Super Saiyan. Like, do you guys remember the first time you saw that? And like, or like the next levels, and like how it made you feel, or like.
Okay, so like we talked about it when they killed Krillin, he comes Super Saiyan, right? Super Saiyan 2 comes because of the hyperbolic time chamber, them training up there, where Kami's on the Kami's lookout. So Goku already knew he had the cell fight in the bag. He's like, this dude is the best. Super Saiyan 3 comes out and the fight. Majin Buu, and then Super Saiyan 4 comes out in GT when they're fighting the dragon. And so, and then all the different variations of them merging together to become all these different Super Saiyan combinations was crazy. But it was Blue, Super Saiyan God, and all this stuff that happened in Super, Ultra, you just like,
Ultra Instinct.
It could keep going. You were just like real surprised. It's like you didn't think they needed anything after 4.
Yeah, there was a lot of different transformations in Dragon Ball Super. They had the Super Saiyan Blues, then Super Saiyan. I don't know what the red hair one was called.
So I think it was Super Saiyan God, and then there was a version of Super Saiyan God where he goes red. I don't know. Yeah. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, and then there was Ultra Instinct, which was the most. I think that was the highest level, which basically his body took over. Like he wasn't even conscious of anything. Like his body literally did everything for him. It was like auto. It was like yeah, it was crazy. It was like cruise control. It was just cruise control. Like he was just beating everybody up blindfolded. But I think everybody would agree the first time he turned Super Saiyan was the biggest deal. Because at the time, like, he was doing Kaioken, which was like a technique that could multiply his power but take away stamina. And he was like going up to 100 and whatever, Kaioken times 100, and that was like a big deal. And then Super Saiyan came, and we was just like, what does this mean? Exactly. Super Saiyan 2 was cool because the electricity came out, and it was like, you could tell that they were stronger, but there was nothing really significantly different. Super Saiyan 3 came, and I feel like nobody cared. Because it was just, it kind of looked ridiculous.
Like long hair one?
The long hair just came out. And I think only 2 people did it. Like, no, not everybody did it. So yeah.
It was just Gohan and Trunks when they merged, they went Super Saiyan 3 and Goku. Nobody else went to 3.
Nobody else in history has gone that far.
Never seen Vegeta at 3.
Yeah, because like Gohan, when he got older, he like discovered this like untapped potential thing with one of the Kais, and so he didn't even have to go Super Saiyan 3. Like he bypassed that and he became stronger in another way.
And yeah, but hold up, we got to rewind that on Gohan. How does he get his power released on Planet Namek from Guru? Oh yeah, and then only to get his power released again.
You know why? you know why? Because he never lives up to his full potential. Because he's over there doing homework. Because he's over there doing homework. You know what's funny too is the episode we was watching. Me and my girl, like Goku was still gone, and Chi-Chi was trying to get him to focus. And they brought in this tutor. Bro, the tutor was so rude. I don't know if you remember because it was so like it was just one episode character. But it was weird. He started whipping Gohan.
Yeah, he was hitting him and stuff. Yeah,
And he
you
was
were just
like,
like, hold up,
you're
bro.
gonna be a brainless brute just like your father. And it was just like, wait, he was like, your father's not here. He's off, because he doesn't care about you. I was like, yo, what?
Yeah, they
So yeah,
wanted you to hate that character instantly because he was
yeah,
big trash.
yeah. I did. I hated him instantly.
Before we wrap up, talking about Dragon Ball, what, Mikey, would you say is like your biggest takeaway or lesson from the series, from the franchise of Dragon Ball?
Man, I would say that with Dragon Ball, it just taught you that like it isn't where you're born. It isn't. It's your circumstances. All of those things can be overcome to be a good person, and that's Goku in a nutshell. Basically, like this planet's blown up. He has no parents. He's sent out to another planet to destroy it. He gets bunked on the head, and he finds the luckiest person, Gohan. And he just adopts him, and it makes him just a nice person, and all he really cares about is training, getting stronger, and eating food. And so I feel like if you keep a simple life and stay focused on the small things around you, you'll be fine, So it's not really your circumstances. It's like if you stay humble and stay adamant about like, not a bunch of aspirations, but just one good aspiration, just being a good person. I feel like that's the best takeaway from that series,
Nice, thank you. Yeah, especially coming from like a killer planet, or you're part of the Frieza's killer squad, and then you're able to change that just by your environment or people showing you the right way. That's dope. Sefa, biggest lesson or like a takeaway from Dragon Ball for you?
I feel like this was a clip from the Toonami, like, when they would, when Toonami would start, they'd have different clips from different shows that they're about to play you. And I think one of the clips that I always seen when Toonami was starting that I always stuck with me with Goku was he was always saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Like there was some clip, I don't know what episode it is, I don't know when it happened, but it was somewhere in Dragon Ball Z where he was like talking to Gohan and he said, where there's a will, there's a way. And that has always stuck with me. And I feel like that is, Goku's and in turn Akira Toriyama's like message from there is like, as long as you got some will, as long as you want things to change, you can make it happen. And so, yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. That's all. I can hear it in my head right now in Goku's voice. Like that's how much it's ingrained in me. That's he showed it throughout all the different arcs, all the different enemies that he faced, all the different trials and tribulations that he went through. So yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. That's mine for sure.
Very nice. Dragon Ball, obviously a huge, mega media franchise that is known the world over. Created in 1984 by Akira Toriyama. Rest in peace. Passed away early this month. But definitely, cherishing this time to be able to talk his creations and something that's so very important to you guys and to, I know, so many of our listeners, so many people out there, and kind of how influential Dragon Ball was, not just for the people, but on different animes, and how they kind of set the standard and have been pulled from for so long, and we're really kind of used to that and thankful for kind of that vision by Akira. So yeah, thank you guys for jumping on here and talking through Dragon Ball. That is our episode for this week. Definitely hit up the Polyticket Network on YouTube or the Polyticket feed on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and listen to the latest episodes Way Back Wednesday, the Politicking Podcast, the Pacifica Movie Starter Kit. Yeah, and thank you guys so much for talking through Dragon Ball. Before we go, Mikey, any last words or shout outs?
Krillin's Destructo disc. That is like that is what I just realized that was one of my favorite moves on the whole show.
When he can start controlling it.
Yeah, like I feel like he should have evolved it a little bit more, like later on, but that was legit. It's way up there.
Yeah. I feel like I saw a clip of somebody later on grabbing his Destructo disc and kind of like just flicking it back at him.
Yeah. But I mean, but
that was like a super strong.
Solid.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
And when you first see it, you don't think anything can stop it. Like it looks indestructible, you know. And it has a cool name too. Yeah. Krillin was on something. If only he was stronger.
For real.
I think he grew more. Sefa, any other shout outs or last words before we go?
Nah, man. Rest in peace to the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everybody, for listening. For Michael Hodges, Sefa M, I am Lance Falitongo. This has been Way Back Wednesday. Catch you guys next time. Bye.
Peace.
Let's go.